Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very interesting topic related to medical coding, anatomy and physiology, where we will be mainly talking about the gustation, the sense of taste. I'm sure you have heard about this term, the sense of taste. So today we will explore that area, like what is gustation, how it really works, what are the parts that are that comes under this entire process. Okay, so these all things we will be discussing in this particular session. But before we proceed further with it, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on the gustation, the sense of taste. But prior to that, you should know about the anatomy that we have already covered, like ear anatomy, eye anatomy, medical terminologies, and all the stuff that we have already covered. And for that, you can also refer the Tech Sharmit digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. There you will find thousands of sessions available in both Hindi as well as English language. So without any language barrier, you can easily consume the content. And in case if you have any queries, questions or suggestion related to this, feel free to reach out to me through comment section. I would be more than happy to answer all your questions there. Okay. Alright, so let's see what is gustation and how it works. So definition wise, it's very simple that gustation is the medical term for the sense of taste. Okay, so whenever you want to denote the sense of taste, you will use one terminology, and that terminology is known as gustation. So we can say that it is a special sense that allows the body to detect and identify chemical substances dissolved in food and drink through specialized receptor cell located primarily on a tongue. Okay, so these cells are located on a tongue, and from there it detects and identify the chemical substances which is dissolved in the food and drink. Okay, so we can conclude that gustation means the special sense of taste. Now we all know that the primary organ of taste is the tongue, right? So because tongue is the only thing through which we will taste the things, right? So the tongue is primarily a responsible organ for the taste, and it is a muscular organ located in the oral cavity mouth. Okay, so it is present there in the oral cavity of the mouth. Now the surface of the tongue is lined up by a stratified squamous epithelium, and the tongue contains raised bumps called papillae. Very important term, because this thing will help us to understand like how papillae work, what are the types of papillae. Okay, so within these papillae are the taste buds, and within those taste buds are the gustatory receptor cells, which actually detect the taste. Okay, this is the part which actually detect the taste. So these are the all terms that we should know regarding the taste. One is stratified squamous epithelium, papillae, taste buds, gustatory receptor cells. Clear? Now we will talk about the process, like how actually it works. The simple steps I have noted here. So assume that we have a food or a drink that enters the mouth, and the chemical dissolve in the saliva. The first part. Okay, in second step, dissolved chemicals comes into contact with gustatory receptor cells inside the taste bud. Okay, then we have gustatory receptor cells. These gustatory receptor cells are activated and release neurotransmitter. So from step 3, it releases the neurotransmitter. After that, for step 4, neurotransmitter activates sensory neurons in the cranial nerves. Okay, so it activates the sensory neurons, cranial nerves. Then signals travel through cranial nerves to the brain, where taste is perceived by the brain. So this is a very simple steps to understand like how actually the taste work. Now moving ahead, we'll talk about few important terms like papillae and taste bud, because this we should know. So papillae are raised based on the tongue surface that house taste buds. Okay, So this is the surface where the taste buds are present. So there are 4 types of papillae. First is circumvallate, the back of the tongue, which forms a V shape, and it contains the taste buds. Next is follate, the side of tongue. It also contains taste bud. Then we have fungiform, scattered across the tongue, mushroom shaped, and it also contains the taste bud. Then we have filiform, all over the tongue, most numerous, but it does not contain taste bud. Again, this is a very important thing because it could be your interview question, like which part of papillae doesn't contain the taste bud. So you can simply say it's a filiform because it only provides textures, not the taste. Here. Alright, now we will talk about the taste bud, because we talked about papillae which is present in taste bud, right? So taste buds are located within the papillae. Sorry, I quoted it wrong. Papillae are the raised bumps on the tongue surface that house the taste buds. So inside that we have taste bud. So taste buds are located within the papillae. They are also found on soft palate and epiglottis, not just on the tongue. Each taste bud contains gustatory receptor cells. These cells are sensitive to special chemicals in the food drink. Okay. Then they releases neurotransmitter based on the amount of chemical detected. Now if we have to conclude all the 5 basic taste cells, so the 5 basic tastes are sweet, salty, sour, bitter, umami. Okay, so there are 3 columns. Let's go one by one. The first taste is sweet, which is so basically what it detects sugars and carbohydrates. Biological purpose is to detect energy rich food. Salty means sodium ions, detect essential electrolytes. Then we have sour acidic substances, detect spoiled or fragmented food. Then we have bitter, which is potentially toxic alkaloids, detect spoiled protect us from the poisoning, and that's why it is the most sensitive taste. Then umami, glutamate, savory taste, detect the protein rich feed. And you know what, there is a research ongoing. I think it's almost completed, and they are also considering the fat or lipid as a taste, the 6th taste. But if someone asks you the 5 basic tastes, you can take these 5 names. Okay, now let's talk about some of the common taste disorders and the cause of those disorders. Okay, so that when someone see the document, they can find out like what are the disorder and what causes that disorders. Okay, so for that you can see the condition and description are mentioned here. The first condition is ageusia, which complete loss of the taste. Then we have hypogeusia, reduced, decreased sense of the taste. Here reduce or decrease sense of taste. Okay, then we have dysgeusia, distorted sense of taste, food taste abnormal like a metallic. And then we have hypergeusia, abnormally increased sensitive to taste. I'm sure you know about the COVID-19, right? So at the time of COVID or corona, like these 2 conditions occurred: ageusia, complete loss of taste, or dysgeusia, distorted sense of taste, food taste abnormal or metallic. Clear? Then we have some common causes of taste disorders, which include these causes and examples. So first cause is viral infection. COVID-19 commonly cause ageusia and dysgeusia, as I discussed. Then medication, yes, medication also cause the disorders like chemotherapy, antibiotic, blood pressure drug. Nerve damage to the cranial nerves, right? These nerves. Nutritional deficiency, like zinc deficiency. If zinc is less, then you won't be able to taste the things properly, because it is essential for taste receptor function. Then we have radiation therapy, radiation to head and neck region. Then we have aging. Of course, aging is also a major cause, because taste receptor cells decrease with the age. Okay, so these are the all things that we should know about the taste disorders and its common causes. Now we will talk about few medical important terms, and then we will conclude the discussion. So today's term and meanings are gustation, meaning term for the sense of taste. Then we have gustatory, related to the sense of taste. Papillae, raised bumps on the tongue surface containing taste bud. Then we have taste bud, which is a structure within the papillae containing gustatory receptor cells. Ageusia means complete loss of taste. Hypergeusia means reduced sense of taste. Dysageusia means distorted sense of taste, which means metallic taste. Hypergeusia means increased sensitivity to taste, and neurotransmitters are the chemical messenger released by the receptor cell to activate the nerve signals. Okay, so these are the all things that we should know regarding the gustation system, or the gustation, the special sense of taste. Now, as usual, there is one question for all of you, and today's question is, what is the meaning of AOM and SOM in terms of abbreviation related to ear? You just need to recall it and just share your answer in the comment section, because when you share your expertise in comment, it will help lots of other students. So very important for them. So please do share your knowledge, so that if they don't know the answer, they can refer it from your comments. Also, when you are sharing the comments in frequent manner, it gives me the pop-up and notification that you are referring this playlist, and on the basis of that only I release more and more session to this playlist. Clear? So yeah, that's all for today. I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.